The Soviet-led communist invaders in this movie are symbolic of multiple oppressive and expansionist regimes throughout history. There are some obvious clues in the film, usually in the form of verbal references to other wars. Here, Bella talks in Russian about having seen dead troops in other war-torn countries, thus drawing a parallel between the Wolverine rebels and rebel forces in other wars. Here, Bella and his commanding officer discuss their scenario. The old guy compares the Wolverines with the rebels in Afghanistan, and Bella cites the Vietnam War comparison, with the Wolverines equivalent to the Viet Cong fighting against the US, ironically. In this scene, the rocky landscape and how the rebel kids are dressed reminded me of Afghan rebels fighting against the Soviet invasion of their country. The script says that Jed is bundled in white for this scene. That's quite specific, isn't it? The script also says that the commando unit brought in to hunt down the Wolverines were the finest anti-partisan unit in Afghanistan. And there's an additional scripted character who's not in the film, a Russian sniper woman who has 60 kills in Afghanistan and 80 in Poland. So, lots of references to other wars in other countries, especially Afghanistan. One of the strongest parallels is that the Wolverines are equated to Native Americans. 3 Russians show up near the rebels' mountain camp for a bit of sightseeing, and one of them tries to translate a forestry sign, but he misinterprets it as the story of a glorious battle between Native Americans and their colonial opponents. The same guy then finds one of the Wolverine's arrows and mistakes it for a genuine Indian arrow. All this foreshadows the battle that they are about to have with the Wolverines, in which the 3 Russians are the colonialists and the Wolverines are the Indians. The script includes plenty more examples of this metaphor. Bows and arrows continue to be used in subsequent battle scenes. The teenagers grow their hair long and tie it back so that they look like Indians. They also befriend some actual Indians in the mountains who give them supplies from time to time. Their school teacher at the beginning talks about the Native American resistance to colonialists and their technology, but in the film this is changed to the story of Genghis Khan's murderous rampage across Asia. But getting back to the Native American parallel, the character Robert, who has become the most brutalized killer of the lot, in the script he begins cutting the scalps from dead Russians. I think the script overdoes the Indian comparisons though, so I'm glad Milius discarded most of it. The scene where the Russians find the arrow is a strong enough clue, however Milius added in the scene in which Robert drinks the blood of his first animal kill. Some have said this scene refers to certain Native American tribes doing the same, but there seems to be some debate over this. Apparently it's a tradition among modern day hunters in the South anyway. Considering these comparisons with other freedom fighter groups, Red Dawn isn't just a one-dimensional America-only view. It's about American civilians protecting their way of life, but it's also a history lesson about freedom fighters versus invading forces across the globe. But perhaps the most important example of these historical parallels is that the depiction of town life under communist rule has overtones of a Nazi occupation. They burn the people's books, which has happened under many regimes, but the Nazis are very famous for it. And even when I was a kid, the way these officers were dressed and their propaganda reminded me of Nazis when I'd seen them in other war movies. The theme is further verified in the script. The town citizens have to carry ID cards under the occupation. The commandos brought in to fight the Wolverines are specifically likened to SS troops in World War II, while another scene has Russian soldiers eating at McDonald's with the description, quote, "At the tables below, uniformed officers enjoy burgers in the same spirit as Germans at a 1940 Paris cafe," end quote. In the script and film, when one of the Russian soldiers is captured, he's asked if he speaks German.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
So what if he does? You don't.
But at no other point in the story is it implied that the invading force involves Germans. In fact, the captions at the start of the movie say that the Green Party has been elected in Germany, leading to nuclear disarmament. And here's another one. When the boys listen to an American radio broadcast from the safe zone, there's a piece of message coding. Have a listen.
Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day.
This is a callback to a radio broadcast that was sent from Britain to Nazi-occupied France in World War II. The specific phrase, "Jean has a long moustache," was part of their broadcast codes and was also shown in the World War II movie The Longest Day. Oh, and by the way, that detail, that wasn't in the original script. John Milius added that. So once again, the communist occupation of the US in this movie is deliberately in parallel with Nazis occupying countries in Europe in World War II. For all you folks out there who thought this movie was pro-fascist, the anti-Nazi paradigm was there in this movie all along, but you missed it.